Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Bitcoin set a new 15-month record high price on the 25th of June as the largest cryptocurrency continues its 3-month bull run. Some numbers right there. Data from Coin360 puts Bitcoin firmly in the driving seat of cryptocurrency markets. 24-hour gains topping as much as 6% to take Bitcoin over $11,350 US. The last time the pair traded at those levels was the first week of March 2018, before a protracted bear market set in, which took Bitcoin to lows of $3,130 US. I'm pretty sure we all remember those wonderful days as the price just kept on dropping throughout the course of 2018. Tying into that as well is something that people have been talking about. It says there has been no Monday correction for Bitcoin this week, as the top cryptocurrency has held on to its weekend gains. With market dominance a touch under 60%, many traders and crypto aficionados are beginning to wonder if the altcoins will ever recover. Bitcoin is back at its 2019 high of just over $11,200 at the moment. It has spent most of the day consolidating around $10,800. Started heading north again during the morning Asian trading session. Since the same time last week, Bitcoin has more than 20% of gains and has no signs of slowing down. There has been a discussion amongst many people in the cryptocurrency space, I guess also myself included, if you kind of want to throw me into that box. It's more like a lot of people were expecting, rather there were two sides of this, and to put it the simplest way is that people assumed that when there would be a Bitcoin movement up, the rest of the altcoins would go up. As Bitcoin has been shooting higher, many of the other altcoins have either gone down, have gone up by maybe 1%, or have gone down in the value of Satoshi. So there was something, I'm pretty sure those of you who were here a couple of months ago may remember, people were talking about when is altcoin spring coming, because it is believed that the last bear market that we had was a prolonged winter of the cryptocurrency space, if you will, and therefore we would have a spring time that would come about and all the other altcoins would start to move back up. However, prices have not done exactly as many other people thought, and what is, or seemingly is at the moment transpiring, is that as Bitcoin is going up, it is showing its digital dominance, if you kind of want to say it that way, and is outperforming every other coin out there. There's no real other way to kind of say that. This is another article. This is from May 2010. It says, new altcoin season, is it coming anytime soon? You may notice that it's no longer talking about like crypto spring or altcoin spring. Now just kind of calling it a season, because people are kind of wondering when it's going to happen. I assume at some point the altcoins are going to move up. But the name of the game right now is Bitcoin. I mentioned this in 2018. Once again, I said there was something very weird happening in the cryptocurrency space, and it's also why I started focusing a lot more on Bitcoin. It's because every single time that we heard about Bitcoin in the news, anywhere involving anything crypto, they always only mentioned Bitcoin. It was very far and few in between. If someone said the name Ether, someone mentioned the company Ripple, that was about it. That's as far as we got. It was just number 1, 2, and 3. And people were asking me before last year as well, like what my favorite coins were, what coins I was focusing on. And I mentioned just the first 3 coins, and people were like, yeah, but what about Digibyte? What about Mamagamaga? And I'm like, that no one is mentioning those coins. And I said the only things that I would really start focusing on a bit more is when we get proper clarification from the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ as to exactly which coins are going to be listing onto their platforms. As of now, the only hint that we had was that video from about 3, 4, 5 months ago. Remember, where I think the people from the New York Stock Exchange had acquired a company as their crypto custodian, because the CFTC said that they had to have someone else custodying their cryptocurrencies besides themselves. And that crypto company, and when we looked through their website, I think they had 13 coins listed. 9.99% or 9.99 out of 10 times. The only coin that's mentioned is Bitcoin. Everyone is focusing on Bitcoin, and this seems to be the reason why only Bitcoin is showing these huge gains. Even when Bitcoin goes up around by like 8, 9, 10%, the altcoins may go up by like 2 or 3%, but the moment Bitcoin dips by 8%, those coins are immediately in the red again. So at the moment, it appears I don't think we're at that point yet, and I mean by that point, Bitcoin absorbing all the altcoins. I think some of the major altcoins that we hear about on a daily basis that are actually being used, not just because we hear about them, but because there is actual usage and we know that they're going to be on major platforms or be used by governments or whatever the case might be. I think these will be just fine for the time being, but expect a larger altcoin collapse. Should Bitcoin end up hitting or make its way to $15,000 and many of the other altcoins that you probably should not be holding in the first place don't move, that means Bitcoin is going to probably start absorbing them because people will get into their heads, hey, I should have bought at 10,000. I've been holding on to these coins. We're at 15,000. I could have made $5,000. That's kind of the mindset that some traders have, not everyone, what have you. Some altcoins, some, not all, will eventually go back up. I've definitely seen the comment section ignite over the last couple of weeks with people asking, when is coin number 243 going to go up? When is coin 900 going to go up? I've been holding on to coin so and so and so because it was a cent and I was expecting it to be 15 cents by now. Why is it not going up? Yeah, let's move on. Next up, something I didn't know about and something that I think is very funny because I think people hear things and then they try to keep it quiet, at least in my own opinion. They're talking about the price of Tron and how the Tron price is likely to go up. It says odds are TRX will likely print a new 2000 high by the close of this year. Behind this optimism is the unconfirmed plans of a $20 million Tron TRX buyback plan. Someone said BitTorrent Speed Beta will launch this week. Tron Summit 2020 will be held in Seoul, South Korea. Tron will begin a buyback of Tron. Hashtag Tron, hashtag TRX, hashtag Tron Society. Is that a... Oh, gosh. Although controversial, mopping supply creates room for demand. Therefore, as buyers scramble for a few coins in circulation, the price of the asset will readjust upwards, rewarding holders. However, the question now is whether this announcement categorizes the currency as a security. Earlier this year, unsubstantiated rumors had it that the US SEC would bar their citizens from investing in anything that was deemed an ICO by the SEC. Deemed as an unregulated security, the ramification would be dire for Tron should the agency follow through with their threat. So unsubstantiated as of right now, but a lot of times what we've seen before in the past is that there are some people in certain corners who know things before everyone else. Like, we'll hear news on a Monday, and then by Thursday, someone's like, okay, yeah, this is actually happening, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I would not be surprised if the people from Tron were preparing for a Tron buyback, because I think the people from Binance have a buyback plan on their actual platform. I don't know the entire work around it. The point is that you typically only, usually, buy back stocks as a company. Buying back your own cryptocurrency would definitely deem you a security in the eyes of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. We'll see exactly how this ends up going. This is why I think we also see a lot of other, remember like the last 2 weeks, we're seeing a lot of cryptocurrency projects talking about burning their coins or so-and-soing their coins. I think, my opinion, a lot of people who made these other cryptocurrencies are coming to the conclusion that their coins aren't doing well. Not singling out Tron, and I if I had about 30 fingers on one hand, I would point at 30 different cryptocurrencies, that their coins are not doing as well, so they're trying to initiate new burn mechanisms, or they're trying to do type of like buyback things. I wouldn't be shocked at all if there was something happening behind the scenes where people were in cahoots with Tether in some sort of way to be able to buy up a large amount of their cryptocurrency to either store it into accounts that don't move. Because the main thing that kind of gets Bitcoin's price going is when we talk about that there's 6 million Bitcoin that are probably lost and gone forever because people have lost their private keys, people have lost their computers, people don't remember their passwords, whatever the actual case might be, they're gone. So people kind of want this scarcity for their coin as well. They want to be able to say, oh, yeah, we also have 300,000 accounts that haven't moved in about a year and a half. Oh my gosh, like how many people are hodling our coin? And it's like, they're probably not. You're probably buying it up yourself. I would be shocked if the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ listed Tron right off the bat. Just my opinion. I mean, we have about less than a month at this point when both platforms have said that they are going to give us information and or do like a soft launch on their platform, especially with this is why, once again, why Bitcoin's price is usually the only one going up, is because even the New York Stock Exchange, when they said, I think they're doing the 22nd of July, when they're doing like their institutional investor launch, soft launch, air quotes, and they're focusing exclusively on Bitcoin. They said that they do have plans to list other coins, but once again, Bitcoin is the name of the game. Anyway, if they do end up doing this, it'll be quite fascinating to see it all take place in public, because the amount of times that Mr. Sun has come out bragging about his coin already deems it a security. Like my gosh. Anyway, I'm done talking about Tron, because you don't understand, like, all this stuff that I have in my head about Tron, I could make a good, I was going to say 38,000 minute video. I'd be like a dry lump of clay by the end of that. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the chief analyst at Think Markets says the Bitcoin beast has been unleashed. What a weird phrase. In a new piece at Forbes, Naheem Aslam says the relatively low number of people searching for the word Bitcoin on Google shows institutional investors are playing a key role in the crypto king's resurgence. He said this confirms that the surge in Bitcoin's price is mainly due to the institutional participation. That is to say, it's only rich people pumping up the price. One can only imagine where the price will move when retail investors, everyday normal people, jump back into the space with full enthusiasm. The idea is that before, we've seen in the past that every single time that Bitcoin's price has gone up, it has done so in accordance with the amount of people around the world who have been searching for the word Bitcoin, or for the word Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, where's Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin, how is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was always somewhere in the search feature, and we saw spikes of this every single time that Bitcoin was spiking in price during the course of 2017. According to Aslam, Bitcoin's renewed volatility and volume show crypto investors didn't lose interest in Bitcoin, but instead sat on the sidelines waiting for the next rally to emerge. He said, in terms of volatility, the beast is unleashed once again. Back in October 2018, Bitcoin's 10-day volatility was lower than the S&P 500 index and the NASDAQ. It did drop below the S&P 500's 10-day volatility in March 2019 again, but since then it has been increasing. At the end of 2018, a lot of people were asking if, and I mean, I sat there reading and listening to this, people were asking if Bitcoin had finally become a stable coin, because they thought that because Bitcoin was not moving, that this must have been the pinnacle of where Bitcoin was going to go. I'm sure a lot of you remember as well, Bitcoin was anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. I can't tell you the exact number, and people were like, well, I guess that's it. I guess Bitcoin's not going to go up. It was on every major news outlet. They were talking about that the crypto price was just not going to move. How amazing, how awesome it was. I guess Bitcoin at 5,000 was going to be kind of cool. Yeah, I guess we can, transact in Bitcoin now. And they were talking about adoption of Bitcoin as if it wasn't ever going to go up, and for some reason it was just going to completely stabilize at the $5,000 range. Anyway, the takeaway from this is that it shows that major key players, which I mentioned before, I've mentioned this thousands of times, so many people, normal people, for some reason don't see an opportunity before them when it presents itself multiple times. A lot of people, even people who had been in the cryptocurrency space for a long time, saw Bitcoin falling below 10,000 and they took that as I shouldn't buy this. I should never touch this. Bitcoin hits 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,998. No one's buying, but the moment it hits 10,000, that's when everyone, I'm pretty sure you've also noticed those other reactivated cryptocurrency channels who are now trying to get you to join their side once again after they were gone for about a good 15 months, because they also probably sold off and sat there in fear and thinking that Bitcoin would never rise once again in price. The fact is, what we see now is because there are so few Google searches amongst the normal everyday people, it appears that the richest people in the world understand the significance of the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange and TD Ameritrade and Fidelity and all these other people getting into the cryptocurrency exchange. I have a friend, I doubt he listens to my video. If you are, hello, not the normal friend who's usually listening. Hello to you as well. Hope your work day is going fine. And he was asking me all these things about the cryptocurrency space and was asking me if Bitcoin was going to fall down again or if Bitcoin was going to go back up. And I'm like, dude, I can't tell you where any of these things are going to go. Like, I am not Bitcoin. I cannot tell you what my future holds. And I've seen a lot of people who are interested in getting into crypto because they see the prices moving up. I spoke till I was blue in the face to my friends and family. Bitcoin's at $3,000. You guys may want to jump in. Like, can anyone here buy half a Bitcoin? No one? All right. The price is definitely going to go back up. And they're like, yeah, well, I heard in the news it's going down to zero. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. The fact that we've gotten where we are, like I said, if third friend, if you're listening, this is not me talking down about you, but I've definitely noticed people are asking me now, when should I buy? How much should I buy? And when do I pull out? And I sit there, people ask you questions, and it's very difficult questions because it's not like, oh, is it going to be sunny tomorrow? It's like this really intricate answer and question because it's widely believed in the cryptocurrency space. For those of you who are very new, this may sound insane to you, but everything else that has been spoken by the Andreas Antonopoulos of the cryptocurrency space has relatively come true. And the next step is that Bitcoin will go so high in price that people around the world will begin to adopt it at mass speed. We already saw this at the end of 2018 and 2019 where Whole Foods, blah, 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 all these other places, Starbucks were announcing that they were going to be accepting Bitcoin. Major institutions getting into it as well. The idea is that eventually Bitcoin will become so big, and this is going to happen, for those of you who don't know, that you won't ever have to cash out of the market because things will start to be denominated in Bitcoin and then eventually just be denominated in Satoshis because it'll be impossible for normal people to ever own a full Bitcoin. And this is the space that we're entering into, and everything is kind of setting itself up for it, especially with all this institutional play that's happening behind the scenes. So when I get questions like that, I sit there and I don't know how to respond to people. Like, how do you respond to someone? Is Bitcoin going to go up? Is Bitcoin going to go down? I'm thinking about putting this much money into it. When should I pull my money out? And it's like, I don't know. I'm not giving up my Bitcoin anytime soon. I wholeheartedly expect Bitcoin to hit $250,000 to $500,000 at some point over the next 3 to 5 years. That's a definite that's going to happen in my head. I know there are people crossing their arms and shaking their heads. I'm sorry, this channel may just not be for you if you don't think that that's going to happen at this point. For those of you who understand exactly what I'm talking about, when we get to those highs, everything is going to have a Satoshi price at that point. Anyway, it's fairly obvious that we're headed this way. If you are new to crypto or getting into crypto, or you like the idea of crypto as a long-term or just an investment in general, understand that crypto is a very long play. It's not about you getting in, making 3 times your money and kind of going, yeah, I can buy a boat. I'm awesome. It's about putting this money in, waiting until you have several $1 million, and then realizing, okay, I can start selling because everything is denominated in Satoshis at this point. Anyway, enough with the institutional talking money point, Bitcoin Unleashed. Let's move on. Next up, the founder of the Ripple-backed startup known as XRPL Labs. Okay, is that supposed to just be X? Anyway, XRPL Labs says people can now send up to 500 XRP through the popular XRP tip bot. The platform allows users on Twitter, Reddit, and Discord to send XRP to one another by entering the string of commands. I guess this was said by Vitsevind. Someone who said, did you increase the tip amount of the XRP tip bot with the app? I could send more than XRP at once. He said 500 smiley face. So apparently, yes. For those of you who were wondering, you can now send 500 XRP with the XRP tip bot. I think it's actually fairly popular. I think people have been tipping me. Sorry for not saying thank you before. I definitely have seen people tipping me, and not that I didn't get it. I thought it was spam for a while. Not even joking. I was like, what? Who is XRP tip bot? Thank you for the past and in advance should that happen once again. IOTA's in the news. IOTA has partnered with the digital food safety management company known as Primority. They said, by storing this valuable information on IOTA's immutable distributed ledger known as the Tangle, consumers will be able to gain full insights about the allergies they seek to avoid, By the simple act of scanning a barcode or just one app on their phone, consumers will be able to do so without sharing any personal, sensitive information and without owning any cryptocurrency. Thanks to IOTA's permissionless nature, food manufacturers will be able to seamlessly share the data via feeless microtransactions without dealing with complex and costly business models and infrastructure, end quote. One, yet another IOTA partnership. Cool for them. Wonderful. That's amazing. Two, they mention it right here. You do all this without owning any cryptocurrency. This is the 19th, that's a fake number, about the 15th time, a little bit more accurate, that IOTA has announced, or we have seen that there's a new partnership of some sort with a company who is using their Tangle, as IOTA does not have a blockchain, and they're not using their cryptocurrency either. So it's great that IOTA is seeing increased adoption around the world. Wonderful, that's amazing, but no one seems to be using their cryptocurrency, at least at the moment. I mean, one of these many partnerships that they had entered into throughout the course of 2018 could at some point announce, yeah, we're also going to be using their token. However, that to me seems highly unlikely, or I feel like we would have had some type of an indication from the companies beforehand. So it's nice to see that people, I mean, this is actually a really important thing, like especially people with allergies, to be able to scan a barcode and know, hey, I'm not going to have to go to the hospital. That's actually quite major. So good on that company on that. However, on the money-making side, IOTA has been relatively stagnant, as I feel like IOTA is going to be around for a while, but in a way that people are going to be building on top of them and not actually utilizing their cryptocurrency. There's been no spoken anything about people using, there was one, like 3 weeks ago. I forgot the company who's going to be using their token, but it's something for like micro payments or something like that. It's not even like major things. Anyway, that's another IOTA partnership, and no one's using their token. If you could see, my gosh, I remember a long time ago when IOTA was first announced, the same exact way that people in the comment section fight with me about SV beating out Bitcoin, or Bcash beating out Bitcoin, or Tron taking over Ethereum, or unnamed other coin beating out Bitcoin, or Ether, or XRP. The amount of people who fight with me with us in the comment section is equivalent to the fights that people tried to have with me in 2017 about IOTA becoming the next big cryptocurrency. You wouldn't believe how many people thought that IOTA was not only going to take over Ether, how many people thought that it was going to destroy XRP. And I don't mean like take it over. People thought that people would see the power of IOTA and go, oh my gosh, I can never touch XRP again. And the amount of people who tried unsuccessfully, as we can all see, have discussions with me how, because the Tangle is infinitely scalable, which no one has seen thus far to this date, because there aren't that many things on the IOTA Tangle to even show its capacity as a 300,000 transactions per second network, that because of the speed and awesomeness of the Tangle, that it would take over Bitcoin. It's nice to see how the future looks, because it's exactly as I said it was going to be. IOTA is cool, IOTA is great, but IOTA is not an XRP. It's not even an Ether. IOTA is barely a Cardano or a Tron. Just gonna, I mean, I have my own personal opinions on this, but yeah, let's move on. To kind of finish things up, the number of approved cryptocurrency exchanges has been growing in the Philippines. In addition to the 11 operators registered by the central bank, the Bangko Sentral NG Pilipinas, there are 37 other crypto exchanges operated licensed, my gosh, by the government-owned Cagayan Economic Zone Authority. The Bangko Sentral NG Pilipinas, or the BSP, has registered 11 cryptocurrency exchanges, allowing them to operate in the country according to the most recent list of remittance and transfers. I'm not going to say the names. The licenses are, I'm not going to read out all those names either. Here's a pretty photo. The central bank adopted a formal regulatory approach to cryptocurrency through the issuance of circular and the 7th of February 2017. It requires businesses engaged in the exchange of cryptocurrencies for fiat money in the Philippines to register with the central bank as remittance and transfer companies. The bank elaborated, saying BSP registered VC exchanges are now required to put in place adequate safeguards to address the risks associated with VCs, such as basic controls on anti-money laundering and terrorist financing, technology risk management, and consumer protection. As for ATMs, the central bank revealed on the 13th of June that it had not authorized any individual or entity to install them in any location in the Philippines or manage online platforms for them and other crypto transactions. Working our way backwards, they're probably not allowing ATMs because it may be another way for people to be able to use their money as they want. The central bank does not want that, obviously. So moving a bit further, it appears, rather, this is nice. I mean, I don't care for the someone breathing down your neck or into your ear type of control. However, it's nice that the people within the Philippines do have access to cryptocurrencies. There have been a lot of countries, many countries within the Asian economic area and the Southeast Asian economic area who have barred or banned the usage of cryptocurrency. So it's nice to see that there are at least, that's a lot, 48 crypto exchanges that have been approved in the Philippines. It allows people within their country to be able to access the cryptocurrency space without, I mean, we've definitely heard other stories from other countries who have like a cryptocurrency exchange, just to say they have one. So it's kind of nice to see that there is a bit of movement around the world. Kind of nice to see. But yeah. There we go. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, My Keto Kitchen, Adobo, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Crypto Joe, Mohair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist Coldy 3D, Nicholas, One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Setsuna, Nick, Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Tom, Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day. Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, and Mechanic. Thank you all very much for your support. At the moment, Bitcoin, at the time of me making this video, is currently up by 4.67% and is sitting at 11,357 US dollars. Other altcoins aren't doing horribly, but they're typically, okay, what we saw before in the past, for those of you, once again, who are new or need a little bit of a refresher, remember years ago, whenever Bitcoin would go up by 3%, the altcoins would go up by about 900,000 million percent. They would completely lose their minds at every little tiny movement that Bitcoin had. And the fact that Bitcoin is going up, a lot of them seem to react, but some of them also react negatively, which is, it's quite fascinating to think that we have entered a period where, we've entered a period where coins aren't correlated to the price of Bitcoin. This was a very big thing years ago. People were wondering, or rather, people would get very upset because if Bitcoin moved up, everything else moved up. If Bitcoin moved down, everything slammed back down into the ground. So people wanted their coins, to be autonomous. And now it appears that they are. A lot of them aren't really paying attention to the price of Bitcoin anymore. They kind of go on their own little movements. But even if Bitcoin goes up, other coins going down is kind of like a really weird new phenomenon, especially look at the Satoshi price of all, like every Satoshi price is going, it's really, really fascinating to see that we've entered this period. I do think that a large number of altcoins are going to disappear. I'm sorry to tell you, I mentioned this before many other times. This is why I said, if you, altcoins are risky. They're going to continue to be risky. The safest bet that we have right now of a cryptocurrency that's going to make it is Bitcoin. Nothing else on this planet comes even close. Like, even just number-wise, nothing comes close. So this is the safest bet that we have right now. If you choose to invest in altcoins, please understand that you are doing so at your own risk at some point in the future. It might not be tomorrow. It might not even be sometime this year, but we are going to have a crypto reckoning where only the coins that are being used on a daily basis by huge institutions are going to do well. That's just how things are going to work out. So at some point, I think a lot of people, you know, when we start talking about the $50, $60, $70, $80,000 Bitcoin, if altcoins are not moving, people are going to start to sell their altcoins into Bitcoin, and that's going to push the price of Bitcoin even higher. This is where we're getting all these numbers from, just to kind of let people know. Don't say that I didn't warn you, because I probably haven't said that in quite some time. I thought it was self-explanatory, but just to let you know once again, a lot of the altcoins that you're holding in the future are probably going to be worthless. Make sure that if you are holding altcoins, you're at least maybe focused, I would say not even the top 50, maybe the top 25, just to be completely safe. When we do get clarification and information as to the coins that Fidelity is going to be custodying, and the coins that the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ are going to be listing, I will most certainly be talking about that on that channel. That should then narrow down your focus immensely as to the coins that you were holding or even thinking about holding, because these are probably going to be some of the very few coins that are going to be doing well in the future. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Very weird times, not only in the world, but also in the cryptocurrency space. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.